Hey everybody, Mark Herman, aka LA Bengal fan, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, repping the Bengals for the AFC Northerners. Man, I don't know about you, but that was a tough game to watch. I quit after 3 quarters, so some of the stats I'm going to give you are only through the first 3 quarters, but really they're the critical ones because it was 41-10 at that point. I just decided to bounce from where I was watching the game. I do want to thank Heath and Riley for being such gracious hosts to me today. But just couldn't take any more after that. So let's go through. If you haven't noticed, I'm wearing a Jeff Blake jersey. It's not because I don't love Jeff Blake, because I do love Jeff Blake, but I kind of feel like we were watching the old Bengals again. So it was just difficult to watch. It really was. The game couldn't have started off any worse. I think we went penalty, sack, fumble, punt, and then blown coverage, and we're down 7-0. So couldn't have silenced the crowd and taken everybody out of it quicker than what we did. We did answer on the next possession. And here, you hear me talk a lot about situational football. Niners get the ball back. We've got them in a 3rd and 6, and we don't get off the field, and they score a touchdown and go up 14-7. That was kind of a really pivotal moment because at that point, our defense was not playing well enough to match them score for score, and certainly our offensive line was not protecting Andy at all today. So we had, just to give you an idea, we gave up, this was through 3 quarters, we gave up 7 rushing plays of more than 10 yards. I mean, they just ran right through us like we weren't even there. Tackling was non-existent, and that was only through 3 quarters. Just to give you an idea just on total plays and talking about situational football and not being able to get off the field. Last week, our defense was only on the field for 49 plays. This week, they were on the field for 52 plays through 3 quarters. I don't even know what the total play count was for our defense because like I said, most of the stats I have are through 3 quarters. That's when I kind of compiled this because at that point the game was over. Shanahan completely outcoached Lou Anarumo. Just completely outcoached him. He had no answers for anything. Our defense, not only was our scheme bad, but the guys didn't execute. We couldn't tackle. I cannot, every time I watch Drake or Patrick play, I just get more and more frustrated because he's such just an average corner, and he's a horrible open field tackler. He celebrates the most minute things in the game and then blows the biggest plays. He basically gifted a touchdown last week to the Seahawks. Today, it was just missed tackle, not in coverage, just it's mind-boggling. And the thing that frustrates Reed the most is that we had a decision to make, which was extend Kirkpatrick or extend Whitworth. We chose to put that money in Kirkpatrick. We let Whitworth go. It was a real turning point free agency-wise. We should never, ever have directed the money there. Whitworth was our locker room leader. I know when he retires, he's going to get a 1-day contract, retire as a Bengal. He lives in Kentucky, but still, it's hard watching Kirkpatrick play, knowing that's he's playing with Whitworth money. So, but let's get back to the game. Shanahan completely outcoached Lou. It's just not even close. And I hate the game plan that Zach came in with. As much as I love the way Zach came in with the game plan last week, get the ball out of Dalton's hands fast, use the pass to set up the run. We didn't do any of that. I don't know why we kept trying to run. It was clear we could not run. This is a better defensive line than Seattle. I really thought that we would come in with a scheme that would work. Not even close. You could see the push into the Bengal backfield every time we snapped the ball. It was just not, didn't like the game plan. I talked a little bit about situational football. Andre Smith, we take a penalty for illegal motion with 1 second left in the first quarter because Andre Smith stands up thinking the play clock's expired and we're going to the next quarter. 5 yards. It's just stupid stuff. We missed a 52-yard field goal. Red zone issues continued today. We missed a 52-yard field goal, which, you know, I'm not a big Bullock fan, and we should still have Jake Elliott, but we don't. But we had a play where Andy Dalton was running the ball. We were in a 3rd and 17. Andy Dalton runs around, is looking. He could take off for 10-yard slide, and we're kicking a 38-yarder. And instead, he's running around, and after he passes the line of scrimmage, he overthrows Tyler Boyd, which wouldn't have counted anyway because he was past the line of scrimmage. His full body was past the line, and Bullock has to kick a 52 and misses it. So that was following an interception by William Jackson. So we just squandered yet another turnover. It was that whole Chris Carson fumble and us not capitalizing. Just a missed opportunity. It was that way the whole game. So red zone issues continue. Starting offensive line, Michael Jordan went out today with an injury. Andre Smith went out today with an injury. If we don't have Cordy Glenn back next week, I mean, even in this game, we only suited up 7. We had one more injury. We wouldn't have had an offensive line out there. We would have been pulling in Sample to play guard or something. So I don't know what we're going to have next week going into Buffalo. This was a game. This one and next week were games that we could have at least been competitive. Or next week we haven't played yet, but we could have been competitive or really kept the tone. I mean, if we could have won today, this is a home opener for us. If we had lost, I could have lived with it like last week if we just showed something. Today, you look at Twitter, people were talking about, hey, is Marvin Lewis back? Is he calling the plays? I mean, there was a lot of stuff on Twitter because it was just disappointing after last week's effort to really see this week's effort. So kudos to the 49ers. They have a great defensive line. I know that's their strength. We weren't able to put up a game plan where we could attack their secondary. They shut down our run game. The biggest thing is their offensive line protected Garoppolo. I really, really, truly believed that we would pressure Garoppolo based on what we did last week and make things difficult for him, and that would have kind of evened up the game. Instead, they just ran right through us, and like I said, Shanahan's play calling was far and above superior to anything Lou was calling on defense. So we're going to learn a lot about this team next week on how they respond in Buffalo. And if not, we could be looking at, I was looking at the schedule, and when the schedule first came out, I thought, oh no, we've got a week 4 Monday nighter against Pittsburgh. We could be looking at 2 0-3 teams in week 4 playing at Monday night game. It's really possible because guess where Roethlisberger was hurt today, but even if Roethlisberger's healthy, guess where the Steelers go next week? They're going to San Francisco for their home opener. San Francisco's won their first 2 road games, so they're going home to their home opener 2-0. So they're off and rolling. Perfect start to the season. Not the case for us. We're going to have something to prove. Well, I'll have more on the Buffalo game coming up, but if we don't have Michael Jordan and we're pressed to pull up somebody from the practice squad and Glenn doesn't come out of concussion protocol, we could be in trouble next week against the Bills. So not great news. Certainly not a new day. More like the same old day. And that's where we're at. I'm going to tell it like it is. Kudos to the 49ers. They came in and cleaned our clock, and we were outcoached and outplayed, and just a real disappointing Sunday. So with that, I will hope you all enjoy the rest of your Sunday. These are difficult videos to make, but they need to be made. It is what it is. So with that, I wish everybody a good day, and we'll catch you. If things hold true, it'll be Thursday night, a late night Thursday night post with a preview. DGBG will probably get a video up. Please take some time to watch it. Don't know what the Raven and Steeler guys are going to do. The Steeler guys tend to run for cover when they don't play well, so I don't know. We'll see. But please support the other videos, and if you haven't already, subscribed, okay? Take care, everybody.